This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Every January brings you 365 blank pages waiting to be filled. In 2025, maybe you're ready for a plot twist, or maybe there's a part of your story you've been wanting to revise. Life isn't about resolutions that fade by February. It's about picking up the pen and becoming the author of your own life. Think of therapy as your editorial partner, helping you write new chapters and create the meaningful story you deserve to live. You listen to this podcast, so you know I am a huge fan of therapy. I think everyone should have some, even the people that don't think they need it, especially you. You need it the most. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. Access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. And you can easily switch therapists anytime at no cost. I love how easy BetterHelp makes it to find therapy everywhere you are. Write your story with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/ratchet today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ratchet. The conversations we have on this show really get me thinking. And when I want to dive deeper or level up, I want to hear from the best. Luckily, I can do just that with Masterclass. With Masterclass, you can learn from the best to become your best. Masterclass is the only streaming platform where you can learn and grow with over 200 of the world's best. For just $10 a month, an annual membership with Masterclass gets you unlimited access to every instructor. And you can access Masterclass on your phone, computer, smart TV, or even audio mode. Use improv to overcome your fears with Amy Poehler, or turn your passion into achievements with cultural icon Martha Stewart. And the classes really make a difference. 88% of members feel that Masterclass has made a positive impact on their life. I watched the Martha Stewart documentary on Netflix, and I just wanted more and more Martha Stewart. Masterclass had me covered. Martha's Masterclass will teach you how to think outside the box and level up. I loved it. Masterclass is offering an exclusive offer for Ratchet and Respectable listeners at masterclass.com/ratchet. Right now, our listeners get an additional 15% off any annual membership at masterclass.com/ratchet. That's 15% off at masterclass.com/ratchet. Masterclass.com/ratchet. Have you given any thought into what you'll leave behind for the new year and what you'll be taking with you? For sure, I'll be taking my Lumi deodorant. I love Lumi. It's my favorite whole body deodorant, and it's safe to use anywhere on the body. Pits, underarms, thigh folds, belly buttons, and more. Lumi was created by an OBGYN who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. She created a product that is clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. Now, I love my Lumi products. It has scents that I love, like clean tangerine, lavender sage, or toasted coconut. Are you ready to try Lumi? Get started today with Lumi's Starter Pack, which is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack. Use code RATCHET15 for 15% off your first purchase at lumideodorant.com. That's code RATCHET15 at LUMEDEODORANT.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Lumi. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those who don't identify as either, you are listening to Ratchet and Respectable. Michelle Lavaughn Robinson Obama of the South Side of Chicago, Michelle Lavaughn Robinson Obama, daughter of Marion and Frazier, wife of Barry, mother of Malia and the Sasha, first of her name. Man, Michelle Obama just announced via her publicist that she will not be attending the inauguration of the future Führer of the United States. If get somebody else to do it was a person, if I am the 92% was a person, is a person, she is the embodiment. She just might as well be like the living legendary leader of the 92% at this point. I so immensely respect that she has refused to go. What is her purpose in being there? To stand next to Barry? Barry got it. He could do it by himself. Honestly, if he backed out, I wouldn't feel no ways about it. It don't really make no sense for either one of them to be sitting up there. I know Barry is a former president. Forever POTUS, you know how I feel about Barack Obama and Michelle and the Sasha and Malia too. We don't leave Malia out. She's a little different, but that's all right. She's still family. It don't make no sense for her to be sitting up there on the podium for history to document her presence, supporting the bullshit that is to come. I wish more world leaders, even though she wasn't an elected official, she is a world leader. They trot her ass out for every election. She's the best known speaker of the Democratic Party, better than her husband even. He admits that. Barack Obama is not the best orator in his house. That's his wife. Michelle Lavaughn Robinson Obama. We talked about how she didn't show up to Carter's funeral. She was doing something in Hawaii. She had an undisclosed schedule conflict. She said, I won't be there. The seating arrangements have her sitting next to Trump. She said that man tried to kill her husband. She said, no. She said they unleashed all them crazy white folks on her husband with all that crazy birther shit and calling him a Muslim. No. Get somebody else to do it. To be quite honest, no person who is not a proud and open bigot and wants to be identified as such should be attending inauguration. Biden don't need to go either. Kamala Harris, he called that woman stupid, DEI, puts out, tried to say she wasn't black, tried to imply she was a whore, like all sorts of crazy shit. She shouldn't have been sitting up there either. No, people be like, Demetria, it's the official exchange of power. She gotta go. No, she don't. Exhibit A, Trump didn't go to Biden's inauguration. That was 2 weeks after January 6th. He was still swearing up and down the election was stolen. It's 4 years later, he's still swearing up and down that election was stolen. He was the most recent sitting president of the United States and did not go to inauguration to even give the appearance of a peaceful transfer of power. No, did not. Biden doesn't need to go either, nor does Dr. Jill. Ain't none of them got to show up there. If there is PBS in the future, if we're actually allowed to have, still freedom of speech, and they could talk about the fuckery that was America from 2025 to who knows how bad he's going to destroy this country and how long it's going to take for us to recover from it. Whatever this 21st century nadir is about to be, who really wants to be sitting up there in the archival footage looking like you was okay with this fuckery? Like you supported a fool, a racist fool, a misogynistic fool, a homophobic, transphobic fool, a classist fool, a fool who don't even know he a fool, but you knew. And you gonna sit your ass right up there on the podium. Why? Lending your support with your presence. Your presence is a present. Take your gift and stay home. I specifically said the 21st century nadir because I was like, it can't be the American nadir. It's not slavery. I mean, unless you're like a firefighter in California. That's a whole separate story. They paying them something. Like $10 a day to put their lives on the line, fighting fires the size, literally, of the Isle of Manhattan. Actually, I think it's bigger than Manhattan now. Last night I heard it referred to as the size of Paris. Like all of Paris is burning. And the people that are putting it out, 30% of them are getting paid $10 a day and not eating regular meals. Literally facing an inferno every day. Them fires are still burning. Still. It's been a week. They paying folks $10 a day to save LA. And they get time off their sentence, which they should. But I was like, look, I'm okay. You want to have folks pick up trash on the side of the road. You want to have folks learn a trade, do some iron work or something, mechanics, something like that. But I was like, literally, you have people putting their lives on the line. Pay them folks a decent wage, and not minimum wage. Pay them folks a decent wage. They're literally putting their lives on the line, and let them out of jail. If they're good enough to go fight fire and be heroes, let their asses out of jail. They have done their part to get back to society. They're literally on some heroes save the world type shit. I ain't doing it. And you ain't doing it. That's not the point. The point is, Michelle Lavaughn Robinson Obama from the South Side announced that she is not attending inauguration next week, Saturday, actually, and giving no excuse. All the outlets are reporting it was breaking news that Michelle Obama was not attending. They said for undisclosed reasons or just flatly did not offer a reason because she got better shit to do because she doesn't want to. Now people be like, if they wanted to, they would. She would. She don't want to. Ain't going to. Won't be there. I hope she posts a selfie doing some dumb shit, like taking her braids out. Like, that's what I felt like doing. That's what she felt like doing last inauguration for Trump. She showed up. The whole time Michelle Obama was in the White House, we never saw her with her hair pulled back. She always had a little something going on. She showed up in the inauguration with her hair in a snatchback and a little messy ponytail. She put a little face on, but she didn't give no effort, and she looked sour all day for obvious reasons. That man put us through hell for 4 years. She knew it was coming. Ain't no sense in going through it again. Sitting up there clapping and smiling. Her presence, Obama's presence, the presence of other respected, for now, political leaders sitting up there with Trump, it gives him a credibility that he does not deserve. I hope more people follow Michelle's lead and don't show up. I hope the CBC just be like, you know what? We good. Sitting up there as black folks skinning and grinning. For what? For why? It's an honor to go to the White House. It's an honor to attend inauguration when it's somebody that is worth the respecting. The man is going to put us through hell. He told us to drink bleach last time. 1 million people died from COVID last time. It's going to be so much worse this time around. It's going to be a whole new world order of complete nutso batshit craziness every single day. It's already started up. And we're pretending this shit is okay. What are you standing up at inauguration for? Just to be there? Like, do you support him? Like, oh, well, he's the new president, so we have to. You don't. You don't. You can still get up every day, do your job, collect your check, and all of those things. The people that he hates, he's not going to like you anymore just because you came inside of his inauguration. In the cold. All the black people, all the women people, he don't like y'all. All the Indian people, Hispanic people, Latinos, all the people. What y'all sitting up there for? Like, y'all endorse this shit? Y'all okay with this shit? The world will keep on turning. He will actually be inaugurated. He will become the next president, whether you're sitting up there or not. Michelle Obama just freed so many people. Folks thinking they got to do shit that they don't got to do. Most of the people listening to this podcast got black parents just like I do. If your parents are black and American, what they tell you got to do in life, you got to stay black. And what else? Pay taxes. That's important because they will come after your ass. And what else? Die. Stay black, pay taxes, and die. That's all you got to do. That's all you really got to do. Everything else, I'm just saying. I love the statement that this is sending. I love the L. Varner fuck it all of it all. Fuck it all, fuck it all, fuck it all. I know I'm off key. I drank yesterday. Not fucked up drink, but like, I can hear it in my voice. It was a black-owned tequila. I was going to my friend's house for a baby shower. Yes, on a Monday night. DC is different. It was just different. Nobody wore Burberry and there was no meatballs, but the food was amazing. The mashed potatoes, very picky about mashed potatoes. It was so good. I picked up a bottle of Prosecco, like a Magnum, to take to the baby shower. But then I got there and they had a black-owned tequila brand, black woman-owned tequila brand. And I was like, well, just give me a little taste. I just want to support the black ladies. So then, they were like, well, we have cucumber mint. Or we could just, put it on the rocks with a little bit of lime. And I was like, yes. Things went left from there. Not like bad left, but whatever. That's not the point. The point is I can hear the difference in my voice. But that's also not the point. The point is Michelle Lavaughn Robinson Obama from the South Side, first of her name. People thought black women were fucking around about that 92% thing. I've seen black women tap out of so much shit. Twitch, the DJ, choreographer who passed away, his wife scanned pages from his private journals. We talked about this last episode. She put the pages of the journals in the book. She said he did a lot of drugs that she didn't know about. She said that he heavily implied that he had been sexually abused when he was a child. She put all that out there. And I had a theory last week and I was like, hey, hear me out. Like dead wrong. Wife is wrong. But I was like, maybe she's coming from a place of grief and anger that, he committed suicide. He left her with these 3 children to raise. We went over that all last week. And people who know him, they gave me permission to talk about it. They were like, don't put my name in this shit. They were like, his wife was a raging lunatic before he died. They were like, this is not new. They were like, people kept their mouths shut for the last couple years out of respect for the wife. Obviously, he died 2 years ago. Nobody heard about the NDAs at the funeral until recently, out of respect for the wife. Like, this the wife of somebody that you cared about. It's the mother of the children you care about, your friends' kids. You don't want to say crazy shit publicly. You don't make a mess. You don't want to damage the children further than what's already happened. The whole thing's incredibly sad. They were like, his wife is fucking crazy. They were like, don't ride for her. Don't try to make excuses for her. I was like, really? My friend sent me this video. One of his friends, Manny, he had a conversation with the wife. I don't know if the wife knew she was being recorded. Usually I object to things like that because I don't want to be privately recorded. People post my screenshots, post DMs, things like that. Like, it's been done before. It's a real violation. But in her case, she had a conversation with one of her deceased husband's friends. And he was asking her about, like, why would you have his mama sign an NDA for her son's funeral? And she was like, I did it and I do it again. And he was like, you don't see nothing wrong with that. Like, you don't think there's anything wrong. And she was like, we've had people sign NDAs before. We've had his family members sign NDAs before. And he was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, well, we do events and they come to parties and we have somebody sign an NDA. He said, you don't see the difference between having somebody sign an NDA about what's going on at a party versus his own mama at a funeral? And she was like, we had her sign NDA for parties. And he was like, I repeat to you again. And she was like, no, I did it once. I do it again. I do it over and over. She was like, that was what Twitch wanted. Was it? He recorded maybe like an hour's worth of conversation. I made it through the first 25 minutes and determined the lady ain't had good sense. She said she had everybody sign NDAs to come to the funeral because she didn't want people to take pictures of the body. And I was like, well, was there a prior funeral where someone took pictures of the body and sold them to a publication or some sort, or distribute them online? Because that's something that would never cross my mind. Like, oh, I need to give NDAs because I think people are going to take pictures of the body. I want to say this, and I want to say this in the most respectful way possible. I wasn't familiar with Twitch. I literally had never heard his name until he passed away. And then after he died, I saw this outpouring of love for him. And some of the people that spoke about him, there's other people that reached out to me, since the last episode. And I was like, oh, he was a friend of so-and-so. So when I say this, I want to choose my words very carefully. I didn't know him. And I recognize there are a lot of people that did. Even based on the wife's book and people knowing his name since his passing, he doesn't strike me as someone being of a level of famous where people are clamoring for death photos of him. Michael Jackson, okay. Whitney Houston, okay. Prince, okay, sure. These are global celebrities, A-list celebrities. I don't see TMZ being like, oh yeah, I'll pay top dollar for a photo of this deceased man that is not an A-list celebrity. I didn't want people to take pictures of him in a casket. Why would somebody do that? And if there was somebody that you thought was capable of doing that, did you think one of those people was his mom? I just can't think of a valid reason, unless his mom is known to do that so shit. The people that reached out to me did not know the mom. Also, they were like, and the friends that, were closer to him, who did know the family, they were like, no one's ever said anything like, oh yeah, his mom is batshit. Like, there's a history of her doing crazy stuff. And, that might be why there was an NDA. Everybody was just like, what NDA? There's not a history, to my knowledge, of people doing craziness where an NDA would need to be involved for anybody, but especially not his mama at his funeral. They said that wife was a piece of work. As very interested as I am in this conversation, I also realized that it's a lot of grieving, hurt people airing out laundry in public. And I know this is because, like, the wife took the first shot in publishing the journals and things and telling things and telling private business about her husband. I get it. But also, I'm like, all of y'all need to go to group therapy. I'm not trying to be funny when I say that either. Like, it's clearly there's a lot of anger. There's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of disappointment. There's a lot of hurt, pain, especially given the way that, Twitch is no longer with us. His death was self-inflicted. But there are people who knew him and his wife and his family and wrote in and was like, don't even try to make excuses for her. Like, she's doing some bullshit. And then other people wrote in and was like, hey, let me pull you back into the 92 because you over here talking about shit that don't concern us. This black man who wanted to go marry this white woman and now his white widow is out here tarnishing his name. That's what he chose, sis. List of things that are not our problem. We got other shit to focus on. Go take your braids out. New year, new me. We say this every year. And 2 weeks later, we're all looking a whole lot like our old selves. But there is one resolution that's right within reach: smelling better naked. It's as easy as upgrading deodorants. Lumi is a game-changing whole body deo designed by an OBGYN to work not only on pits, but also feet, privates, and everywhere else we get odor. No matter where you use it, Lumi is clinically proven to block odor all day thanks to its one-of-a-kind pH optimized formula. And they've got over 275,000 five-star reviews to show for it. Make the switch to Lumi and make this year your freshest one yet. I love using Lumi. While I've never had to use it for up to 72 hours, I have flown from here to Asia, which was more than 24 with the layover. I didn't smell. I wasn't at my best, but I wasn't at my worst. That counts for something. Lumi Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi Starter Pack with code RATCHET at lumideodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit lumideodorant.com and use code RATCHET. I have a new favorite Honey Love bra. It's the Cross Flex bra. It's all purpose. You can wear it during your workday and at your workout. Honey Love is an independent female founded brand. All Honey Love products are intelligently designed by women who actually wear their products, including the founder, Betsy, who is highly involved in the development of each product. The ladies over at Honey Love make sure that Honey Love bras are supportive and wire free, thanks to bonding technology that lifts without underwire. You deserve a bra that's lightweight and comfortable without sacrificing support. I believe that a great bra is the foundation for any great outfit. Start every outfit with Honey Love and elevate your personal style. Treat yourself to the best bras and shapewear on the market. Save 20% off at honeylove.com/ratchet. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off. honeylove.com/ratchet to find your perfect fit. After you purchase, they will ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Elevate your comfort, elevate your style with Honey Love. Michelle Lavaughn Robinson Obama. She turns 60 years of age. 3 days, January 17th. Because I was like, how old is Michelle? Because I was like, this level of no fuck giving, this is new. She is turning 60 years old. She has unlocked clearly a new level of no fucks given. Because she went to the first inauguration. She gave a fuck then. 8 years later, the fuck factory is completely depleted. Maybe it was based in LA. The fuck factory burned down. She's out. She ain't got no more. Michelle Lavaughn Robinson Obama. I love that lady. Real bad. Speaking of 60-year-olds, I went to the Kennedy Center over the weekend. D-Nice Club Quarantine. I went last year. It was one of my favorite events worldwide. It was D-Nice with the all-black orchestra. Everybody showed up in ball gowns, good suits, some tuxes. And we was in there acting a whole damn fool, drinking champagne out of Kennedy Center water bottles. It's great. It's great. I live for this event. This year, a band, no orchestra, and really good performers. Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Arrested Development, Tweet, Goapele, Tank, who jumped into the crowd. He was singing How Does It Feel? D'Angelo's How Does It Feel? And he just got caught up in the spirit. He was singing, and then he stopped like mid-note and just jumped into the crowd. Tell me your intrusive thoughts won without telling me your intrusive thoughts won. D'Angelo used to do that shit too. I think I've only been to one D'Angelo concert, maybe Warner Theater. My boyfriend at the time, I was still in college. He spent his good money. He's a DJ. He spent his good money. He got us the best seats he could get. It wasn't all the way in the orchestra, but it was like the second part of the orchestra in the front row. D'Angelo caught the spirit and jumped off the stage and ran down the aisle. I mean, the security was running with him. That's when he still had like his six-pack and whatnot. Like, ooh, child. But he jumped off the stage and ran into the crowd, and I lost my mind. I thought boyfriend was gonna be mad at me because I went crazy. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, but it's D'Angelo. And he was like, I know. Just carry on. It's fine. I don't care. I was like, oh, that's not the point. The point is Tank jumped off the stage on the wrong side of the stage. I was like, Tank, jump off on my side, not that side. Who else? There was somebody else. Rhapsody. There's somebody I'm forgetting. Oh, Anthony Hamilton. He did what he always does. I mean, he's always amazing. Giving you the best of me. Amazing. Oh God. I two-stepped all in the aisle. I danced the whole night. I sweated my hair out. I sweated my dress out. I danced the entire night. I danced to Lou Rawls at the after party. You'll never find. My dad played that to my mom when he proposed, and I was like, that is so corny. I can't believe you did that. And he was like, it worked, didn't it? It's a really good song. Oh, I'm not bragging on myself, baby. Okay, that's enough. It was a really, really, really great performance. Rakim, I felt like I was in the presence of God. I was like, oh my God. That's probably why I fell in love with hip hop. Thinking of a master plan, playing on video jukebox in my parents' basement at the old house, which means I was under 10. And Big Daddy Kane. Big Daddy Kane was my first crush. Not true. Denzel was my first crush, then Big Daddy Kane. I got detention in 7th grade. I was listening to I Can Do It Right on my Walkman. I went to a Baptist school, and my history teacher took my headphones and listened to what I was playing and was like, what is this? What is this? And he looked at the tape. He's like, who is Big Daddy Kane? I Can Do It Right. What is it? What is it? And I was like, dance? Do you mean dance? He's saying like you can dance right? Whatever. I realized watching Big Daddy Kane and Rakim, they're probably part of the reason I became a writer. I mean, hip hop in general. I never wanted to be a rapper or a poet even. I never got into the spoken word thing. I used to go to a bunch of spoken word stuff when I was in college, but I never got on the mic, never had a desire to. But the fascination with wordplay, and I was like, yeah, that probably has something to do with Rakim. Arrested Development was performing. Tennessee. I was watching him on stage, and I turned to my friend. I was there with Bestie Hove. And I was like, they're probably a big part of why I ended up in Africa. Yeah, they're probably a big part of the reason I'm like an earthy Black girl. I said that online. And then a bunch of other people were like, yeah, Arrested Development shifted a whole lot of people. And I was like, who knew? Do they know? They're very revolutionary for that time. Oh, well, that's not the point. The point is, we go to this concert, and the Kennedy Center gave me tickets, just to be transparent. I went to try to buy them, and they were unavailable. And I was like, well, there's no option for me actually to not go. So I called over and was like, hey, hi. I hate to ask a favor, but I went last year. It was so amazing. Is it possible? Do you think you could for me and a plus? Thank you. I don't do it all the time. Sometimes I have to. But we got tickets, and the tickets were in row G, and it was all the way over in the corner. This is important. When we first get there, we realized, me and my friend are in our mid-40s, and he's older than me. And we are looking among the younger side of the crowd. It's Rakim and Big Daddy Kane performing, and D Nice is in his 50s. It's like the big cousin crowd, and then, some aunties and uncles. To us, it's these 3 women take seats directly in front of us, and then these 2 women come and take the seats next to me. So we're blocked in. We are surrounded by these women. At first, I thought they were women in their 50s, and then we got to talking to them, especially the guy I was with. He's talking to the ladies. She, at some point, declares, oh, you young enough to be my son. Then she wants them to go get drinks. And then, the music starts. They was lovely and respectable women, but also ratchet. The music starts. They lost their mind. This one woman, she was in her late 60s. Everybody was Black. I ain't see one white person in there. She, bent over and then also put her leg up on the seat. And I was like, hey, now, auntie, you gonna throw something out. And then she just thought she was moving it around with agility. And I was like, this is too much. They was drinking doubles of everything. They sent my friend to the bar. They acted like they was back in the club when all those songs first came out. Rakim and Big Daddy Kane came out. They was doing the dances, at least the Big Daddy Kane video. They were all over the place. And I was like, y'all gonna be sore in the morning. What is happening? They were rambunctious, very wild, very uninhibited, very, very free. And I was like, wait, is this what happens at 6? I was like, I can't party with these folks. Ain't enough Epsom salt in the world. Somebody told me, and she was like, they got new knees and new hips. They good. They bionic. And I was like, that's too much. It's too much for me. I can't party with them. Every time I hang out, it's not even people in their 60s. I'm being generous. Every time I hang out with people over 50, and they got grown kids out the house, they don't know how to act and they don't know when to go home. We hung out with those women for most of the show. We ran into them again at the after party. We left the after party. It was almost 3:00 in the morning, and they talk about what's next. The bed is next. The bed is next. I'm going home to my bed. Where y'all about to go? We might go get something to eat. Ma'am, it's 3 a.m. You can't be eating at this hour. Go to bed. No, not them 60-year-olds. They want to be outside. Oh, it's too much. I ran into my babysitter. I mean, obviously she's a friend of the family, but I ran into her like in line for the bar. And she's like, what you drinking? So we got some drinks, and then she went out on the dance floor. She's in her 50s, head full of gray hair. She went gray prematurely, in fairness. She's on the floor all over the place. I had to go to the wall and collect myself. And she was like, it's time for the percolator. Ma'am, sit down. Sit. It is not time for the percolator. It is time for bed. Her and her friends in their 50s, mid-50s. That's too much for me. I'm going to just hang out with nice, decent 40-year-old people without kids. We could stay inside watching Netflix and watching the ID channel, watching crime documentaries and shit. Calm, even demeanored, level-headed people. Even people in their 30s without kids. Women with kids, once they get outside without their kids, be wild. Wild. And people who kids leave the house, wilder. The crazy women also invited us on vacation. This after 30 minutes of knowing us. They thought we were a couple. And they were like, oh, my birthday. I think it was her 70th birthday. I don't know. Her birthday was coming up soon. They were going to Panama. And they were like, you should come. I was like, I'm not going to Panama with these crazy people. I won't be able to keep up. But then also I was like, what are the dates? I ain't drinking with them. They could just drink straight through. I'm going to have some water. I'm going to keep my liver and my original knees and hips. You went and got your bionic refresh. I'm not there yet. I'm not there. I can't keep up. I go to the gym. I do the Stairmaster. I could not keep up with them women. It's a really good show. I think I'm going to go to the one in New York. I'm trying to figure out where it is. I think it was Carnegie Hall last time. One of my friends hit me and was like, you're coming to the one in New York in March. And I was like, okay. It wasn't really a question. Like, I'll get the dates. Let me know. Okay. Really good times. Rakim performed again at the after party. That's a man in good shape. He's in really good shape. Big Daddy Kane was in good shape too. I posted some videos on my Instagram. Wait, how old is Big Daddy Kane? Big Daddy Kane. He came out on stage and I just started yelling, Big Daddy, Big Daddy. He's 56. He looks good. He was doing some dancing. I posted a video and this woman was like, his hips look well oiled. And I was like, oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. But she ain't lied though. She ain't lied. Rakim came out and this Sheryl is one of the prettiest coats I ever seen. I was like, he is expensive. Expensive. He looks good too. He looks vegan. I mean that in like the best way. Like if you're over 50 and you look like really good, not just like good, but like really good, there's usually some vegan involved in your life. It's true. My dermatologist told me I need to give up dairy. She's like, you have really clear skin, but she was like, there's some dry patches. And she's like, it's because of dairy. And I was like, ugh. You know how I feel about my face. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Every January brings you 365 blank pages waiting to be filled. In 2025, maybe you're ready for a plot twist, or maybe there's a part of your story you've been wanting to revise. Life isn't about resolutions that fade by February. It's about picking up the pen and becoming the author of your own life. Think of therapy as your editorial partner, helping you write new chapters and create the meaningful story you deserve to live. You listen to this podcast, so you know I am a huge fan of therapy. I think everyone should have some, even the people that don't think they need it, especially you. You need it the most. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. Access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. And you can easily switch therapists anytime at no cost. I love how easy BetterHelp makes it to find therapy everywhere you are. Write your story with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/ratchet today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp. HELP.com/ratchet.
Kroger Delivery has one mission: to deliver the freshest food right to your door. That's why our drivers are pros. Our trucks are refrigerated. And when it comes to low prices, we always deliver. With $20 off your first order of $75 or more, there's no better time to get in on the action. Mission accomplished. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
What else is going on? Oh, Beyonce. Beyonce was supposed to have a big announcement today. She has pushed her announcement until next week out of respect for the fires in LA, which I thought was very, very respectful. And she also donated $2.5 million. She has a foundation. Be Good? I don't know. Either way, she donated $2.5 million. And she specifically allotted the money to go to the Black areas. I'm reading this on People magazine. It says her charity foundation, they were earmarking the aid, the $2.5 million, for families in the Altadena, Pasadena area who lost their homes. Also to churches and community centers due to the wildfires. I read on Billboard that Mama Tina's home, she had a bungalow in Malibu. I read it got caught up in the fires. The stories coming out of LA are so damn sad. It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. For the Black people and all the people, like it's just reams and reams and reams of sadness. I was watching 60 Minutes. There was a Black guy. I think he was a coach. He was looking at his property and he was like, he was like, everything I worked for is gone. I told you I had a friend who evacuated. She was able to get back in her house, but she was like, the smoke situation is so bad in LA. She left to go to Palm Springs. Another friend, she doesn't live near the fire. It took me a couple of days to reach out to her. I was like, oh, she's good. There's not an immediate threat to her. I was reaching out to people who were, in the eye of the storm, if you will. But I reached out to her and she was like, girl, I hit you back. We just got an evacuation notice. I'm sorry, what? She was visiting a friend and their kid. They had to just grab everything and get the fuck out. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. And they're still not in the house, which leads me to believe that like the friend's house is not okay. So many sad stories. I'm trying to wrap my head around and just can't. I can't. I just can't. I'm not just losing your house, but like losing your whole neighborhood. Like I talk about when I come back from overseas, the first thing I do, because I always get back on like a 6 a.m. flight, is I go to Dunkin' Donuts. And at some point I go to Wegmans and I pick up all my nuts and berries and my veggie food and my almond milk and my lemonade and all of those things. And yes, these are things I could put on a list and ask my mother to pick up for me. But I actually like going to Wegmans because like they play Jodeci on the speakers. And it's not like I don't like seeing all the Black people because I be in Africa. Well, not so much Cape Town. But in Ghana, it is. I specifically like going to my gym. They're under new ownership now, but the treadmills and the Stairmasters are all in the same place. I like that feeling of familiarity. All of that shit is gone. It's so crazy to me. It's just so crazy. I cannot believe LA is still fucking on fire. There's 5 or 6 different fires. They're like, yeah, this is progress. It's 33% contained. Contained, but not like exterminated, finished, unfired. It's sad. It's so, 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 so sad. My heart breaks, absolutely breaks for all the people of LA. If I'm traumatized, just watching it on CNN, like to live it is a million, billion, trillion times worse. Shout out to Tyrese, who on a previous episode, like we were talking about so much destruction and awful news. And I was like, I really wish Tyrese would, do his usual, like say something stupid so I can like rage about something that's rather insignificant as opposed to things that, are really upsetting and tragic and just awful for so many people. Literally the next day, Tyrese delivered 3 days ago as LA, his hometown, was burning and 100,000 people were evacuated from their homes. Tyrese thought that it was a prime time to celebrate the 8th anniversary of him buying a home. Not like the 5th, not like the 1st, not like the 10th or the 20th, like something like, like a milestone moment. Just the 8th. He thought it was a good idea to celebrate the 8th anniversary of his home. And he posted like 50 million pictures of his sprawling estate with its marble floors, the ironwork in the stairwell, just really beautiful home. I mean, it's a gorgeous place, no doubt. Gibson Estate. is what it's called. And he talked about peace and his greenery and the cul-de-sac and his amazing neighbors and just the great community that he has, all the work that he's done. And he's poured all of this into his house. And I was like, nigga, read the room. Read the room. Like, congratulations on your 8th anniversary. Not your 5th, not your 10th, not your 1st, your 8th anniversary of your house. And then he talks about like what this home has done for him. He says the home has saved his life at least 5 times. The house is a home. It's blessed everyone. He's just going on and on and on about the importance of this home in Atlanta. And I'm like, nigga, there's no way that you being from LA don't know nobody whose house got burnt down. It's impossible. And you thought this was the time to post about this shit. Happy 8 to my house while your hometown is burning, while 100,000 people are displaced and 10,000 structures are burnt, just burnt up, just burnt to a crisp. There are many reasons why people don't like you, but this is one of them. And I guarantee you, 30 days from now, he's going to be on the internet crying about something, wanting people to feel sorry for him, and then being confused that no one cares. I was about to say Exhibit A. This is like Exhibit, what's after Z? Do we just start doubling up the numbers at this point? I hate that nigga so bad. Oh my God. Last but not least, this is a lighter topic. Sheryl Lee Ralph, the beloved Sheryl Lee Ralph, the diva, the original dream girl, Emmy-winning actress. Not nominee, Emmy-winning actress. Sheryl Lee Ralph is on the cover of People magazine, looking fabulous. Sheryl Lee Ralph is 69 human years old. I saw that and I was like, I know you fucking lying. That's got to be a typo. 69? She got grown kids out the house. You know she's a turn up in a good time. 69? I had no idea Sheryl Lee Ralph was that mature. I mean, she's been around since Dreamgirls, but my God, she looks amazing. I said the other day, somebody posted a picture of her. She's been in the news a lot lately, but I said something the other day and I was like, it don't make no damn sense. So for Sheryl Lee Ralph to be looking this good. And this woman came in the comments and she was like, she's Jamaican. That's how we age. And I was like, oh, excuse me, madam. Sheryl Lee Ralph said she lost a little bit of weight recently, not on Ozempic. She said she changed her workout. She drank more water as per doctor's orders. And she said she's never entertained thoughts of plastic surgery. No fillers, no Botox, no little something, no judgment, no judgment. She is a pleasure and a joy. I had the privilege of meeting her many, many years ago. Essence 40th anniversary. There was a big brunch. I can't remember where it was. It was super fancy. He was sitting next to me at the table. We had a lovely conversation. And then a couple years ago, I was honored Black Women in Media. She also received an award. I love her. She's been in the news. She's been making the rounds on the blogs lately. Sheryl Lee Ralph and her husband of 20 years, live in separate cities. She works primarily in LA, and he is an elected official in Philadelphia. I saw an interview where she was explaining. There's been a couple interviews. She's been asked about it a couple of times. It clearly gets on her nerves to be asked about it. She tries to say it in like a firm, fun, cheerful-esque kind of way, and she has a smile on her face, but you can see she's annoyed by it. And I would be too. Like, who the fuck are you asking me how I conduct my marriage with my husband? Are you serious right now? But she's explaining that, they live in separate cities, but also they are very much married. They are very much in a union. She flies back every 2 weeks when she can to see her husband. And this is the way that it's always been. And the most recent interview I saw, she was like, I have a whole real job and career. And my husband, and she said at least twice that he was a senator. She wants us to know that she ain't married to no man leeching off her. There are some other famous women whose husbands are underemployed, maybe is a way to say it. She ain't got one of those. She got a whole husband with a whole job, good job. They both got good jobs. She said they do what works for them, and clearly it's working because it's been 20 years. I hate that people found out what their situation is. People can be very narrow-minded when it comes to, a lot of shit, but gender roles in particular, but especially for married women, there's a very narrow way that you're supposed to act as a wife. And if you don't act in that very narrow way, then, you're not fulfilling your marital duties or being a good wife, or your marriage must be in crisis, or y'all just out there doing some crazy shit and calling it marriage, but that's not what a marriage is, because apparently there's only one way to be married. I would say that Miss Cheryl and her husband, they figured something out that works for them for 20 years. Ain't no need to go changing it now. That's where you get fucked up at. Let me see if I can find the interview. Cheryl Lee Ralph. Yeah, the story's on Us Weekly, Yahoo, HuffPost, ABC News, Today.com, People.com, Janine Rubenstein. Every time there's a Black person on the cover of People, just assume Janine wrote it. Hi, Janine. She listens to the podcast. I say this every time I say her name. That's Bay. I'm not name dropping her. If I wasn't proud of her, I wouldn't be calling her out. There's a bunch of people in my life who be acting crazy, who do insane things. I don't be shouting them out on the podcast. I don't want no affiliations. I'm not proud of their behavior. Janine, proud of her behavior. Okay, Abbott Elementary star. That would be Sheryl Lee Ralph. Including their, quote, non-traditional living arrangement, which has worked out wonderfully, I'm quoting, for 2 decades now. It says 4 years after her divorce from her first husband, she found love again in 2005 with Hughes. I'm scrolling down to look at him in his face. He's a nice-looking man. Got pretty teeth, some clean skin. The two met while she was starring on Broadway, and she says they were smitten but separable from the start. She says, the man that I am married to, Senator Vincent Hughes, the 7th Senatorial District of Pennsylvania. They met later in life. 2005, 20 years ago. She's 69. Oh, she took a second husband at 49? She says of Hughes, she said, quote, you fall in love with somebody and you realize he's not leaving his career. He's not leaving Philadelphia and I'm not leaving Hollywood. She says, when you have children, it's very difficult. She said, early in the marriage, they found a solution that has endured. She says, every 2 weeks we saw each other and it's continued to work out well. When I go to see him, I love to see him. When it's time to leave, bye-bye. See you soon. I'm telling you, life is good. And she continues. She says, he has his own life. I have my own life. He has his own real career. I have my own real career. He has his light to stand in. I have my light to stand in. He is not looking at me thinking about status or this and that. He is doing his thing, and I get to do my thing. Well, all right. She says they will celebrate 20 years of marriage this July. She says some people can't even get through 2. Well, Cheryl, there was no need to call me out like that. There was no need for that. But she says the secret to their success, she says it's addressing issues head on. She says that's a lesson she learned after her divorce. She says, I've evolved into saying, let's talk about it. If you sit in problems, you get anxious, depressed, and all that juiciness in life starts to dry up. I can't have that because all that will mess with my good looks. I like Miss Cheryl and Mr. Vincent. Happier than ever at 69. She figured out something because she looks amazing. And she's saying she ain't had no work done. Mr. Vincent doing something keep her happy. I'm just saying. All right. That's the episode for today. We'll be back on Friday with more. And until then, goodbye. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Every January brings you 365 blank pages waiting to be filled. In 2025, maybe you're ready for a plot twist, or maybe there's a part of your story you've been wanting to revise. Life isn't about resolutions that fade by February. It's about picking up the pen and becoming the author of your own life. Think of therapy as your editorial partner, helping you write new chapters and create the meaningful story you deserve to live. You listen to this podcast, so you know I am a huge fan of therapy. I think everyone should have some, even the people that don't think they need it, especially you. You need it the most. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. Access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. And you can easily switch therapists anytime at no cost. I love how easy BetterHelp makes it to find therapy everywhere you are. Write your story with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/ratchet today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ratchet.